is my review of the Fern Park SuperStop. Basically, going to start off with some SuperStop reviews here for the Lynx and Votran systems, and Fern Park being my home SuperStop and seeing it pretty often doing that. The routes hosted at the Fern Park SuperStop are the 102, 103, 436 north and south, and FastLink 1792 as a commuter triple route in the morning and afternoon rush. The places these routes serve: your 102 starts out at Lynx Central Station, heading up to Florida Hospital Orlando, meeting up with the 125 and SunRail, as well as the FastLink 1792, continuing north to Winter Park SunRail, meeting up with SunRail and the 443 and the 1914 and 23 SunRail trippers. Then the 102 hops over to Winter Park Village, meeting up with the 1, 9, 14, 23, 443, and the FastLink 1792. Continuing north on 1792, heading up to Maitland SunRail, meeting up with SunRail again. You'll notice 102 basically runs pretty much SunRail local, runs a hell of a lot later, and runs 365 days a year. So there is an option on weekends for those four stations, and it's actually a pretty quick option when you figure it takes you about 20, 30 minutes from Maitland to downtown. On the 102, it'll take you about 35 minutes from Maitland downtown. So it's not like those four stations you really have much of an argument for expansion at this point. 102 continues north into Fern Park, and that's the end of its route. The 103, its twin route, which it's interlinked with Monday through Saturday, shoots north out of Fern Park, heads up to 434, meeting up with the 1792 again. The 434 and the 505 is a SunRail tripper. The 103 continues north to Seminole State College, Sanford. The 103 continues north into Seminole Center, meeting up with the Sanford routes, which will be in more detail when we get to Sanford. The 436 north and south now. The 436 north starts out at Apopka, shoots on over to West Town, meeting up with the 23 and the 434. 436 north continues east into Altamont Mall, meeting up with the 1. The 436 north continues east on 436 over to Altamont SunRail, meeting up with SunRail once again, then in to Fern Park. The 436 south shoots out of Fern Park, heads down the University Boulevard, meeting up with the 13, shoots over again to Hanging Moss Road, meeting up with the 29 outbound. 436 north shoots down the Colonial, meeting up with the 28, 29, and the 104. The 436 south continues south down 436 over to Lake Underhill, meeting up with the 6. Then the Curry Ford, meeting up with the 15 and the 28, inbound. Then shoots down to Dixie Belle and Gatlin, meeting up with those runs that we'll talk about when we get to Dixie Belle and Gatlin. Then it continues south on 436 into Orlando International Airport, meeting up with the airport runs. Then the FastLink 1792 runs as a tripper during morning and evening rush. We'll go south to north, and then just flip the routing for your PM routing. In the AM, starts out at Sanford. 1792 runs express to 434, meets up with the 103, 434, and the 505, a SunRail tripper. 1792 then shoots into Fern Park, meeting up with your Fern Park routes. 1792 continues south into Winter Park, meeting up with the Winter Park routes. Then it shoots down Denning, back to Orange, getting to Florida Hospital Orlando, meeting up with the 102, 125, and SunRail, and then into LCS to terminate, and just flip that for the afternoon. The buses you'll see here are the 29-foot Gillig BRTs, 35-foot Gillig BRTs, diesel and hybrid electric DX limo units, and your 40-foot Gillig BRTs, and on the 436 you'll see the 40-foot Phantoms. Service here is pretty good as well. Monday through Saturday, you'll typically find the bus for each route about every 15 to 30 minutes. And then nights, Sundays, and holidays, you'll see buses typically every 30 to 60 minutes, which in Orlando speed is pretty amazing for what it's worth. I mean, the night timing, your Sunday timing, and your holiday timing is pretty good. And your day timing is pretty decent as well, except on the 436, which holds a 30-minute headway. And that's might be a little too, might need to jump up to that 15-minute to make it viable. The facility itself is kind of garbage. Now that the 1792 436 flyover is being done, the buses all stop on the north side of Fernwood Blvd at Oxford Road, leaving one shelter and one bench. Thanks, FDOT. We love you. God, fucking idiots. Got SunRail right, got this construction project wrong. Should have at least thought up a provision for the TA, but, you know, that's FDOT for you. Generally, I'd give this SuperStop a 7 out of 10. I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but the goddamn facility. But, you know, the hot thing's SunRail right now, so nobody's really going to notice, even though it's so damn close. It's so damn close to the SunRail corridor. So close. But, you know, the SunRail fans are basically fucking foamers. Ugh. And we'll talk more in detail about that when we get to the SunRail review. A lot of detail about those folks. My God. With that, there's your Fern Park review. I'm going to try to get into Sanford and SunRail down the line here. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed and have a good day.